Ray. People will come, Ray. They'll come to Iowa for reasons they can't even fathom. They'll turn up your driveway, not knowing for sure why they're doing it. They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past. Oh, of course, we won't mind if you look around, you'll say. It's only $20 per person, and they'll pass over the money without even thinking about it. For it's money they have, and peace they lack. And they'll walk out to the bleachers, sit in shirt sleeves on a perfect afternoon. They'll find they have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baselines, where they sat when they were children and cheered their heroes. And they'll watch the game, and it'll be as if they dipped themselves in magic waters. The memories will be so thick, they'll have to brush them away from their faces. People will come, Ray. The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It has been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, it's a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good and could be good again. Oh, people will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
With pinch batter Frank Keller at bat. Robinson dashes to the plate. It's close, and umpire Summers calls him safe on the daring maneuver. But Yogi Berra doesn't think so.
And now, a man who played with the Dodgers from 1959 to 1966. Dodger legend, one of my favorite Dodgers. I remember when the only performance-enhancing substance in baseball was Bengay.
Mention your name?
Yeah.
What's your first name again?
I'm Ryan.
Brian?
Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah.
I'm good now.
All right.
Brian. No, just
In high school, what sports did you play?
in high school,
Yeah.
my major sports in high school wasn't baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball. I made all city, first five in basketball.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I made all state baseball too, but basketball was number one. I loved playing basketball.
Yeah.
And I played with the likes of Lenny Wilkens. You know who Lenny Wilkens was?
I don't think I'm familiar.
Lenny. No one in basketball history has done what Leonard Randolph Wilkins has accomplished. Lenny grew up in Brooklyn and almost from birth faced extreme difficulties. Stares and insulting remarks from racist adults because his father was black and his mother was Irish. At age 5, he was already the man of the house when his father died suddenly. He was delivering groceries by the age of 7. In his spare time, he played basketball, and play he did. He became a star player in high school and won a scholarship to Providence College, where he was one of 6 blacks in a student body of 1,200. But he was tough and excelled on the court and in the classroom. He was drafted by the St. Louis Hawks in the first round of the 1960 NBA draft, and owner Ben Kerner gave him an $8,000 contract with a $1,500 signing bonus. With the Hawks, Lenny established himself as a perennial All-Star. He was voted to 9 All-Star teams in his 15 years as a player. When his playing career was over, he was second only to Oscar Robertson in career assists and turned his remarkable basketball knowledge to coaching, and coach he did.
He's an All-American. He went to Providence, and I was supposed to go to Providence with him, and then he became an NBA coach for about 14 years. I mean, and I'm telling you, he was outstanding beside college. He was outstanding NBA player, and you have to look him up when you get a chance.
Didn't you play with another? You played with a couple Hall of Famers, right?
In reference to baseball?
Basketball.
Oh, basketball.
Yeah.
Connie Hawkins. You ever heard the word Connie Hawkins?
I think so. My dad was telling me about.
Yeah,
it.
Connie Hawkins came after. He came the last year we were together. He came up after our last year, and he became NBA in the Hall of Fame also, and he was all NBA All-Star. He's a great ball player, and he played for the Harlem Globetrotters too.
Connie Hawkins was a mythical figure in basketball ever since his schoolyard days in New York City.
I started playing basketball in Brooklyn.
That's where I learned all my skills at, on the playgrounds.
As soon as I faked him and he leaned, then I would take one giant step to the basket.
Already a local legend, the rest of the world caught its first glimpse of the Hawk when he joined the Harlem Globetrotters.
Here was a kid from Bed-Stuy, never been anywhere around the world. I went to the Great Wall in China, to Jerusalem and Nazareth. Things that you read about in the history books, you're actually there. You never forget those things.
Next, Hawkins would sign with the Pittsburgh Pipers of the ABA, winning both the league's first MVP and its championship.
He came the last year we were together. He came up after our last year, and he became NBA in the Hall of Fame also, and he was all NBA All-Star. He's a great ball player, and he played for the Harlem Globetrotters too. And so I was with a lot of guys that, you know, that were great ball players, and a lot of guys I played against that were great ball players. At that particular time, there was a bunch of good basketball players.
When did you start playing professional baseball, and why did you choose the Dodgers?
I signed out of high school with the Dodgers. I got interested in baseball when Jackie Robinson signed. I think I was about 8 years old, and they got me interested in baseball, and I got a chance to see him play because for some reason the Dodgers home games were on TV in LA. You're talking about in the 50s, 51, 52, 53. So I could see them play all the time, and I just stayed in front of the TV all the time watching the Dodgers play, watching the whole team. There's some great ball players: Joe Black, Don Newcomb, Roy Campanella, Pee Wee Reese, and Carl Furillo, Roger Craig. There's some great ball players. I knew everybody, the whole team just about. I knew their names and whatnot, and I rooted for the Dodgers, and that's how I got started. Baseball was my thing, you know.
Who was the most influential player you played with?
Well, there were several. When I was with the Dodgers, my roommate was the best thing I had, and the best football player I played with. His name was Willie Davis.
1960, that was my year in Spokane AAA ball, where I hit 365. I led the league in triples. In both the leagues where I started, I led the league in hitting and in 4 or 5 other apartments. The buzz was, here comes the next Willie Mays. And I'm in my mind, I said, no, it's not, there's only one Willie Mays. Here comes the next Willie Davis, and there's only one Willie Davis. And here I am, bang, and I was here.
There's so many.
Yeah.
You heard of Sandy Koufax?
I don't think so.
You never heard of Sandy
Koufax?
Research. Okay, Sandy Koufax is one of the best pitchers in baseball. All right, okay. That's how good he was. He was on our team, and he's also from Brooklyn. All right, Don Drysdale, a great pitcher. Yeah. All right, Jim Gilliam was one of the best ball players I've ever played against. You know, we had some great ball players.
Yeah,
really. Maury Wills was an MVP. This was on my team.
Dodger Stadium in Chavez Ravine becomes the capital of Los Angeles. In fact, the most important spot in all California. For here the Los Angeles Dodgers win the World Series. In the third game, young Jim Bouton carries the Yankee hopes against Big Don Drysdale. It's the same story, however. Dodger alertness, clutch hitting. In the first inning, Tommy Davis sends a grounder scooting off the infield grass and Richardson's foot, scoring Jim Gilliam from second base, and the Dodgers have a very important run. Drysdale continues the spectacular Dodger pitching, getting this ninth inning scare on Joe Pepitone's drive deep to right. But it's caught by Ron Fairly, and those oh-so incredible Dodgers have a 1-0 victory and 3 straight series games. Whitey Ford and Sandy Koufax are the starters again for the fourth game. In 59 previous series, no club has bounced back after dropping 3 in a row. Ford's waist-high curve ball is driven 450 feet by Big Frank Howard. The home run in the 5th inning is the first score in a tight struggle. In the 7th, Mickey Mantle gives one of Koufax's offerings a circuit ride, and the home run ties the ball game. The Yankees remain alive on Mantle's 15th homer in World Series play, tying Babe Ruth's record. Bottom of the 7th, Gilliam's on third on an error. Willie Davis's long sacrifice fly brings him across, and the Dodgers lead by 1. Ford has allowed only 2 hits, but Koufax has that strikeout when it really counts. Tom Tresh looks at a 3rd strike in the 9th. Mantle watches a 3rd strike. 8th strikeout for Koufax. 2 out, 2 on. Hector Lopez half swings at the fastball and is out at first, and there's your World Series, wrapped up for the Dodgers. The first time the Yankees have dropped a series in 4 straight. That's Ron Fairley leaping to top off the happy heap. In the Dodger clubhouse, the champagne flows. Likewise, there'll be big money flowing for all. Record receipts for the 4 games produce the first $1 million players pool. Dodger full share will approximate $12,000. Each Yankee will get about $9,000. But happiest are those victorious Dodger players.
In your personal life, to what extent did you experience discrimination growing up?
Well, naturally, I signed early in the early '60s, and so I was associated with this discrimination early because that was the time it had. I remember going to playing in Kokomo, and got called a lot of names. We went to other teams, and that was in Midwest League. And then I went to Texas League, and there I couldn't stay with the white ball players. I had to stay in a different hotel when we were on the road. And when we played games, the black people had to sit in a certain area, and all those stadiums we played, they sat in a certain area. It was called a lot of names and stuff like that. So you had to live with that. And I played under those circumstances.
That's tough. What role did Dodgertown and the Dodger organization play in integrating players and fans?
Well, Dodgers might have been the first because of Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
So in spring training at Dodgertown, he created a lot of interest, and a lot of black people came to see him play, you see. And in those days, the black people had to sit in a certain part of the spring training. They had that for a long time, but had a lot of people that come up to see him play, and every place he went in spring training, more black people came out to see him play. And then after he started playing, Larry Doby was the second black ball player to sign in the major leagues, and he was in the American League, and he went through the same situation, and then it just elevated. Roberto Clemente and Willie Mays and those, they came after, and then people realized that how good the black ball players were, and it really helped the baseball because the professionalism they had, how good they were on the field and off the field, and because they had to be like that. They didn't want to get in no trouble, and they created more fans, and it helped baseball.
Did you participate in any civil rights activist movements?
I probably did, but I might have done some things, but we were doing it all the while, playing ball, But to actually participate in a movement, there was a couple of places I might have marched in Texas, but it's something I can't remember because I was afraid to march in those places in Texas.
Yeah. this sort of goes along with the last question. Did you ever meet a civil rights activist?
Oh, of course. You know, I mean, Martin Luther King was one of the first, and all the ball players that I played early with became, you know, did some things like that. Don Newcomb, you know, and Jackie Robinson, they all did things like that. When, you know, after they stopped playing,
Yeah.
they did a whole bunch of that stuff. You know, Sam Jeffro, Larry Doby. They all had Willie Mays. They all did stuff like that to keep it going. You know?
Yeah.
And we lost one of the real good friends of mine recently, a couple of days ago, Willie McCovey. Yeah, we grew up playing ball together. He was with the Giants, and we did a lot of things together. And,
Yeah.
yeah. We all had to do something like that.
Were certain parts of the country harder to play in due to the fans' unruliness or hatred?
Yeah, naturally in the South. Yeah. That's where they grew up. They just didn't associate with the black people as much as the people in the North did. You know.
Yeah.
So they created their own ways of letting the people know by calling them names and letting them know how they felt. And you had to play in those conditions. And
Yeah.
and I played better in those conditions. I wanted to show them how good I could play. Yeah.
I was gonna ask if that affected like play at all, but
No, I played better
Yeah.
against people who wanted to call me niggers and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
But it didn't bother me at all. 'Cause I enjoyed playing it like that.
How did discrimination change both personally and professionally from the time that you entered the league from when you left?
Well, don't forget, I was there when it first started. It was like that when I first got there. It started changing in the 70s, in the late 70s and 80s. And, you know, and then people started, you know, didn't talk about it. You know, it was accepted. And white people were more against it than the black people at that particular time because they wanted to see good baseball. They didn't want to hear that crap.
Yeah. That was the last question I had.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I want to thank you, Tommy. I know some of these questions my son asked you are sensitive questions.
I came up in sensitive time.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. And
the only times that it was sensitive was when I first came up.
And the next generation needs to know how previous generations were treated and how wrong it was.
It was bad, and then you had to have a certain type of ball player to withstand that, and we did. We knew what was going to happen, and I didn't mention the fact Craig Flood was really good at that. He was one of the best that stood up against it, and they did a thing on him special. Craig Flood, you know, and Lou Brock, and Craig Flood. They wanted him. They wanted him to do something, and Craig Flood said, "No, I won't." He left the country. He went to Europe. I remember that. Yeah, and then he came back. Yeah. So a lot of things happened, and if I wish I could remember all those things. I wish I knew the type of questions you were going to ask me. I would have did some research on it.
Yeah.
If I could remember that. I can't remember all that stuff.
No, that's fine.
I remember all the times I had a problem, and I could, you know, that was one of those things. Like I said, I was happy I had those problems because that made me play better. I couldn't do nothing about it. I wasn't going to fight a million people at that time. That's what I was going to fight. And they wanted me to come out there and get killed, but I beat them on the field.
Yeah. Best way of doing it.
You did do that, didn't you?
Yeah. I did have a little problem maybe every once in a while. Somebody come up to me and I had to beat them up a little bit, and then that was it.
Yeah.
I knew I could beat these people. It was just one-on-one.
Yeah.
I couldn't beat a 4-on-1 or a 5-on-1.
Yeah.
But I knew when I had to do it. Yeah. I got beat up too a little bit now.
We all got to take our lumps.
Yeah. But it came out all right.
Yep.
Had the right people at the right time.
Definitely. Well,
Good questions. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too. Thanks for doing this. I appreciate it.
Now I'm going to enjoy myself.
friends, I told you that my partner would be here, and here he is. Didn't you expect him, did you? Now, he always shapes up. Now, why not let the folks themselves ask for something that they'd like to hear?
All right, what would they like to hear? I'll do
Something
it.
different. Now,
Okay.
is there anything special that you would like to hear us do?
Baseball.
Oh, no, wait a minute, friends. You don't want to hear that, do you?
Yeah, we got the props for you here. Oh, you came prepared, didn't you?
All set, huh? Well, this is a must. I guess it's a must. We've got to do it. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let me see. It looks all right.
Okay, all
Now,
right.
we'll pretend. All right, I'll take it easy with that. We'll just pretend that we're organizing a baseball team here at the retired actors' home. And I am the manager. Now...
You're going to be the manager of the retired actors baseball team?
Yes.
I would like to join the retired actors baseball team.
Oh, you would?
And I would like to know some of the guys' names on the team, so if I want to play with them, I know them, and I meet them on the street or in the home here, I can say hello to them.
Oh, sure. But you know they give baseball players nowadays very peculiar names.
I know, a lot of funny names.
You know, like Sticky Fields.
Sticky Fields.
Goofy Dan. Boopy Bobber. Booby Bobber.
I know all those.
Well, let's see now. We have on our team, we have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
That's what I want to find out, the guy's names.
And then,
That's what I want to find out, the guy's name.
I'm telling you, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
Now, Abby, you going to be the manager of the baseball team?
Yes.
You know the guy's names?
Well, I should.
Well, then you tell me the guy's names on the baseball
I
team.
say, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
You ain't saying nothing to me yet. Go ahead and tell me.
I'm telling him.
You ain't said nothing yet. Go ahead and tell me.
Who's on first, what's on second, I don't know is on third.
You know the guy's names on the baseball team?
Yes.
Well, go ahead. Who's on first?
Yes.
I mean the guy's name.
Who?
The guy playing first.
Who?
The guy playing first base.
Who?
The guy on first base.
Who is on first?
What are you asking me for? I don't know.
Now, wait a minute,
I'm asking you who's on first.
That's his name.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
Who?
The guy on first.
That's it. That's his name.
Well, you ain't said nothing. I ain't asked you nothing.
You did.
You know the guy's name on first base?
Sure.
Well, tell me the guy's name on first base.
Who?
The guy playing first base.
Who is on first, Lou?
What are you asking me for?
Now, don't get excited. I'm saying who.
I'm asking you a simple question. Who's on first?
Yes.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
That's it.
That's who? I'm asking you, what's the guy's name on first base?
Oh, no, what's on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
One base at a time now.
Don't mix up my...
I'm not mixing up anybody. Now, what's the guy's name on first base?
Now, what is on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who is on first?
I don't know.
He's on third. We're not talking.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
Now, well, let's not
Whoa. How did I get on third base?
You mentioned his name.
I mentioned his name.
Yes.
I don't know anybody's name on the team. How could I mention a guy's name?
You did. You just mentioned it.
All right, what's the guy's name on third base?
No, what's on second?
Who's on second?
Who's on first?
I don't know.
He's on first.
See what I mean? I didn't even mention a guy's name on third base.
Yes, you did.
All right, then who's playing third base?
No, who's on first?
I'm not asking you what's on first.
What's on second?
Who's on second?
Who's on first?
I don't know. He's third base. I don't know anybody on a baseball team.
You do. You mention their names.
I do?
Sure.
You got an outfield?
Well, naturally.
The left fielder's name.
Why?
I just thought I'd ask you. I just thought I'd ask you.
Well, I just thought I'd tell you.
Well, go ahead. Tell me.
Tell you what?
The left fielder's name.
Why?
Because I want to know. Because.
Oh, he's center field. You know these players as well as
Who's
I.
in center field?
No, who's on first?
What's on first?
What's on second?
I don't know. Third base. Do you know the guy's names on the team?
Look, Louis, you don't seem to understand. See, I have a first baseman.
I know you got a first. I asked you what's the first. I asked you what's the first baseman's name?
No, what's the second baseman?
I'm going to stop asking you. I asked you what's the first baseman's name?
What's the second baseman?
I don't even get past the first. All right, who's on second?
Who's on first?
What base do you want to talk about?
You talk about anyone you want to talk about.
All right, now who's on first?
Right.
Okay.
No.
All right, you got a first baseman. Yes. When you pay off the first baseman every month, who gets the money?
Every dollar of it. Every dollar of it.
Who gets it?
He does. Sometimes his wife comes down and collects it.
Whose wife?
Yes. Why not, Lou? He's earned it.
Who did?
Yes.
Look, when you pay off the first baseman every month, you get a receipt from the guy?
Sure.
How does he sign his name?
Who?
The guy you give the money to.
Who?
The guy you give the money to.
Well, that's how he signs it.
That's
Lou.
how who signs it?
Yes.
Well, go ahead, tell me.
That's it.
Who? Look, you go to first base.
Yes.
And you say to him, here's your money, sign the receipt. How does he sign his name?
Who?
The guy you give the money to.
That's how he signs it.
That's how who signs it?
Yes.
Sure. You gotta get a receipt from the guy, don't you?
Get one, Lou.
How does the first base sign his name?
Who?
The guy at first.
That's how he signs it.
I'm asking you, when you give the guy the money, what's the guy's name that you give the money to?
Now, wait a minute. What signs his own?
Who signs his own?
No, who signs his?
I mean, what's the guy's name on first you give
What is on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know. Third base. The fielder's name, the center field. I don't know. You got a pitcher on the team?
Well, this will be a fine team without a pitcher.
It's a fine team. The pitcher's name.
Tomorrow.
You don't want to tell me the day?
I can't change that name.
You don't want to tell me the day?
I'm telling you.
Go ahead. Tell me the pitcher's name.
Tomorrow.
Why not tell me today? I am going to wait tomorrow. Then tell me the pitcher's name.
Tomorrow.
All right. What time tomorrow you tell me the pitcher's name?
What time what?
What time tomorrow you going to tell me who's pitching?
Who is not pitching?
I'll break you right, you see who's on first. I want to know what's the pitcher's name.
What's on second?
I don't know. Third base. Third base. Third base. You got a catcher?
Certainly you've got a catcher on a baseball team.
Catcher's name.
Today.
Today. Tomorrow's pitching. Today's catcher.
Now you've got it.
Now I got it. All I got, we got a couple of days on the team. That's all.
I can't help that, Lou. I don't.
You know, I'm a pretty good catcher myself.
And so they tell me.
Yeah, now I get behind the plate and I'm going to do some fancy catching, and tomorrow's pitching on my team, right?
Yeah.
Now tomorrow he winds up the ball and I'm behind the plate and the heavy hitter gets up.
Yeah.
Now the heavy hitter gets up and he's ready to hit the ball, and tomorrow's going to throw the ball. I'm the catcher. Now when tomorrow throws the ball, the guy up bunts the ball. Now when he bunts the ball, me being a good catcher, I want to throw the guy out of first base, so I pick up the ball and throw it to who?
Now that's the first thing you've said right.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Well, that's all you have to do.
Is to throw the ball to first base.
Yes.
Now who's got it?
Naturally.
Sure. Look, the guy is running to first base, but I want to throw the guy out. So I throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
Throw it to who?
Naturally.
And who's got it?
Naturally.
So I pick up the ball and I throw it to Natural.
No. You throw the ball to first base, then who gets it?
Naturally.
That's it. Now you've got
That's the same thing.
Right.
I pick up the ball, so I throw it to Natural.
You don't.
I throw it to who? That's what I'm saying! I said I throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
You ask me.
You throw the ball to who?
Naturally. Same as you!
Say it that
I throw the ball to Naturally.
You don't. You throw it to who?
Now who's got it? Naturally. That's what I said.
Right.
Whoever it is better get it. That's all I can
Don't worry about who.
Who'll get it?
Yes.
He better get it.
All right.
Now, I throw the ball to whoever it is drops the ball, so the guy runs a second. Who picks up the ball and throws it to what? What throws it? I don't know. Throws it back to Tamar. Triple play.
Could be.
Another guy gets up, and it's a long fly ball to because. Why? I don't know. He's on third, and I don't give a darn. I said, I don't give a darn.
Oh, that's our shortstop.